Hi fellow viewers, to everybody, good afternoon. My name is Steve. My full name is Steve Hoong. I'm the owner of this video account in this respective website, youtube.com. By the way, to all viewers across the globe, please bear with me if I don't have necrological videos in the past few weeks of January 2026. And I would like to say to all viewers, belated Happy New Year. Sorry for the delayed, and I was investigating some important noted personalities who died already, because the most important, as what I've said to all viewers, I cannot publish necrological videos if it is incomplete details. That's very clear. Incomplete details cannot be published in my necrological videos. That's my policy. That's the most priority and important policy. Incomplete details cannot be published. That's my policy, whether they like it or not. Okay? By the way, my next necrological videos. This is not acronyms or abbreviations. This is about South America's greatest general from Venezuela. Yes. So the title is Venezuela General Simon Bolivar. Yes, you heard it right. Venezuelan General Simon Bolivar. That's the title. Now, I'll give you his personal background from his birth until his death. Okay, Simon Bolivar was born on July 24, 1783, at Caracas, Venezuela. So during the time of Spaniards, so Spain. Then his parents died when he was a child, and he inherited a fortune. As a young man, he traveled in Europe and married a Spanish girl of nobility. Okay, she the name of his wife is Maria Teresa Rodriguez del Toro y Alaiza. By the way, they married on 1802, so if I'm not mistaken, he was already very young age. Maria Teresa was only, she's so young that time. I think 14. Then Simon was only 19. Can you imagine that time they can marry younger age? Younger age. Look at now. Others are married, they will start at 21, 22, 50. So it's a big difference. Imagine for how many centuries, okay? So they just only married only 1 year. Unfortunately, Maria Teresa Rodriguez del Toro y Alaiza died 1803. So they just only lasted for a year, 1 year only. Okay. By the way, a lot of you are asking, when did Simon Bolivar died? Okay, my answer is he died on December 17, 1830, at age 47 in Santa Marta, that is in Gran, Colombia. So that's in South America. Although, listen to me, although he was buried on National Pansion of Venezuela. He was buried National Pansion of Venezuela. So meaning from Colombia, his body was transferred in National Pansion of Venezuela, where that is his resting place. So if you're a tourist, if you travel in Venezuela, you will see the name Simon Bolivar in National Pansion of Venezuela. By the way, to all viewers, listen to me carefully. This is very important. I'm not so sure if this is part of world history or South American studies or South American history. Okay? Take note, Simon Bolivar is the father of South American independence and his immortal legacy. That's the most important part. Don't you worry, my fellow viewers. I will place this in description, so nothing to worry. And another thing is, Simon Bolivar is proven Latin America liberator, meaning he liked to to liberalize all South American countries such as Peru, Bolivia. By the way, Bolivia is named under him. You try to observe Simon Bolivar. The family name derived from that family name, Bolivia, because of him. That's the reason why they named the country Bolivia. Okay. Then another thing is this is proven and confirmed he is the liberator of South America. Therefore, Simon Bolivar is the liberator of South America. So meaning Latin American countries. Okay, that's the most important part. This one, when he was as what I've said a few minutes ago, he was traveling in Europe. So while he was in Rome, Italy, he made a vow to liberate Venezuela. So meaning, instead of Spain, Venezuela is under Spain. So Spain is already out. Venezuela comes in. That's the most important. The most important part is in his role when I said that he is the liberator of South America. He is fighting for freedom, meaning the South American countries want to be independent, not under Spain. Because Spain, to be honest, like here in the Philippines, we were colonized. Can you imagine from 1521 up to 1898? 377 years. Can you imagine? More than 3 centuries colonized by Spain. Philippines was colonized by Spain. So if you round off it, it's almost 400 years. Wow, can you imagine? By the way, the cause of his death, here's the answer. Here's my findings. The cause of his death, Simon Bolivar, cause of his death is tuberculosis or TB. Capital T and capital B, TB, tuberculosis. That's the cause of his death. He did not die arsenic poisoning. By the way, the reason why I mentioned this because if you can remember, the former Venezuelan president Hugo Chavez claims that Simon Bolivar died of arsenic poisoning. Okay, here's my necrological findings. There is no proof or basis that he died arsenic poisoning. So meaning there was a traitor if he died in arsenic poisoning. The answer is there was no arsenic poisoning involved in his body. He did not die in arsenic poisoning. He died at the cause of tuberculosis, TB. In Philippines, we call it TB, tuberculosis. Okay. By the way, as what I said, he was in Europe. So when he was fighting for freedom, when he was in Rome, Italy, on his return to Venezuela, Bolivar joined a group of patriots that seized Caracas in 1810 and proclaimed independence from Spain. So meaning, Venezuela was already independent country in year 1810. Okay. He went to Great Britain, which is British that time, in search of aid. If I'm not mistaken, it's financial aid or weapons, armaments. But could get only a promise of British neutrality, meaning they can say neutral. That's it. Then he returned to Venezuela and took command of a patriot army. So he recaptured Caracas in 1813, so 3 years later. From the Spaniards who regained control of Venezuela after Francisco de Miranda's surrender. So this one, Francisco de Miranda is, if I'm not mistaken, he's from Spain. That's my analysis. Because if he come back 3 years after, so Bolivar became dictator of the country during that time. Okay. So the Spaniards forced Bolivar to retreat from Venezuela to New Granada. New Granada, by the way, to all viewers, is now already called Colombia. Then also at war with Spain, he took command of a Colombian force and captured Bogota in 1814. The Patriots, however, lacked men and supplies, and new defeats led Bolivar to flee to Jamaica. So that's it. Oh, by the way, I forgot to say something. This is very interesting. Simon Bolivar is known as the George Washington of South America. Don't forget that. If you are a world history professor, this is the most interesting thing. Simon Bolivar is the George Washington of South America. Did you observe George Washington, the first president of the United States? That's the Declaration of American Independence, July 4, 1776, right? Okay. This one, his point is that he'd like to have independence all Latin American countries, meaning they can speak Spanish, Spain, under Spain, because Spain is, they are speaking fluently Spanish, right? So the language is still the same, although the countries will not be under Spain. That's the main point of Simon Bolivar. Oh, by the way, I'd like to mention something. Are you familiar the one who was arrested in, he was faced in the courtroom in New York? Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, the one who is practicing Bolivarianism, he's the one. Because this Hugo Chavez and Nicolas Maduro have the same ideology about Simon Bolivar. I have to mention this because this is very significant necrological video, my fellow viewers. I'm gonna tell you, this is a very significant necrological video because what they like is Venezuela is independent, not under Spain anymore. That's the most important. Okay? Then, in his by the way, since I mentioned already George Washington of South America, he also traveled in Haiti. Haiti is under South America. He gathered a force which landed in Venezuela in 1816 and took Angostura, which is now Ciudad Bolivar. He also became dictator there. By the way, this is all for the meantime. Don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell for my next necrological videos. Thank you so much for listening in this video. Good afternoon.